Last Friday, I was reasonably sure that the current pay deal was dead in the water.
Sid's dead, baby.
The proposed pay uplift would be recycled back into Stormont. The dozens of positive moves on workload would be stopped in their tracks. And the dispute between management's side and teachers was about to get prolonged, expensive and downright nasty.
Zapatero, ¿qué opina usted del gobierno de Zapatero?
I was wrong. Yesterday, the Minister of Education himself stepped into the fray.
Now we're sucking diesel.
He pulled up his pinstripes, he stepped into the water, and he dragged the twitching pay deal out onto the shore. By announcing an independent review of teacher workload, he has breathed life into the offer on the table, certainly as far as Think 1265 are concerned. Helen and I spoke this morning, and with time tight for teachers to decide how to vote, we agreed to step off the fence this evening and support this offer. The reasons are simple. Think 1265 is a single issue campaign, getting teachers' workload rights and entitlements implemented in every school in Northern Ireland. Our work in the last year has shown how limited this implementation has been, and for the majority of teachers, workload is way above what any reasonable human being can consistently discharge. Now, we can shout and scream all we want about workload, and even get the odd article in the paper. But an independent review of workload was beyond our wildest dreams. It means we can present all we've learned and all you have said as evidence to that review panel. The subsequent report in November will be packed with recommendations, and many of these will come from the information you have shared over this year. And these will then become the foundation for transforming this great profession in the years to come. Alongside this are the time-bound delivery groups, working on dozens of bits and pieces of workload improvements. And their progress will also be monitored by the independent review panel, as well as all 5 teaching unions. The laundry list of workload issues addressed by this offer include many specifically linked to principal workload. So senior leaders will have skin in the game too, giving teachers and leaders the opportunity to work alongside each other to benefit each group. And you can be sure that the Head Teachers Union, along with other unions, will be holding management's side to account in this matter. There's also the clarification of the zombie clause, which is almost worth voting for on its own. Most of all though, agreeing to this deal means we can shift forward again on pushing for our workload rights and entitlements. We know that many are worried by what will happen when ASOS ends again, which was, remember, the precise reason why Helen and I started this whole thing just over a year ago. If your workload explodes again in their school, then contact your union office and ask for help. They really can help you, and they can protect you from any backlash along the way. But the potential prize is huge should we all fight for it. By making sure this independent review gets to see the full state of workload in our schools, including the sometimes unpleasant and unbecoming reality about school culture which leads to the workload crisis, you will help to stop excessive and unreasonable workload in your school for good, forever. Listen,
I'm listening.
I know there's an issue about trust. That's why everything is so time-bound. But take a breath and think for a moment. If the Minister was 100% committed to finally resolving the issue of excessive teacher workload in this country, wouldn't he be offering pretty much the same stuff that's on the table now? The final decision rests, of course, with you, and your unions will probably advise you separately as well. But I leave you with this.
How you wished.
You know the old phrase, a bird in the hand is worth 2 in the bush? Well, isn't 5.5% in the bank, a few dozen improvements coming over the next handful of months, and the chance that an independent review will sound the death knell for excessive workload in our profession for good, worth giving the Minister the opportunity to prove he means what he says about valuing teachers in this country. Brian out.